What's up, folks? It's Kendall Desma, one of the co-hosts of the Nirvana Experience. On this episode of TNE, it's the Let's Talk episode. You know, we do that once every season. Carlee, he gonna do it this season. To give you an insight of his journey coming from Memphis to moving to Houston, Texas. But before we get into that, I had to put a disclaimer in to let you know that we had a couple technical difficulties, and I had to recover the audio to this episode of Let's Talk. And Carlee, he himself went in today, as of today, went in and finished the recording, and I'm finna get it edited and publish it. So by the time people hearing it, if you hear it tonight or tomorrow morning, we just recently just finished the recording. So without further ado, here go Carlee with Let's Talk Part 9.
How y'all doing, everybody? I'm your co-host, Carlee, and this is Welcome to the Nevada Experience. And this is a Let's Talk episode, and this is gonna be my first ever Let's Talk. I talked to Ken. He told me that Let's Talk is more personal, and it's more shorter, and it's just a conversation between the audience and the host. So this is gonna be my first ever, and I was trying to decide what I wanted to speak about, but I came to the conclusion that I should speak about motivation, because that's something personal to everybody, and I want to speak about my case in particular, what helped me out to stay motivated. And when I say motivated, that's with anything you're trying to do. Like, I know nowadays that the big thing is to people starting their businesses. Another big thing is people losing weight or exercising. Other things is trying to finish school. Just trying to be a better person in general. And these are the things that I'm going to speak about that helped me personally to stay motivated on the journey I was on. And my journey was to be, it was just to be a better person, because I'm not going to say like I was just a gangster or something in the street. I wasn't like that, but I still had my faults as a person. Like, I just wasn't doing everything right. Like, what can I say? For instance, like, I was still, even though I was a so-called good person, I would still lie at times. I still said evil things. So I'm trying to think, because I wasn't just a horrible person. But I just wasn't all the way right, all the way how I want to be. I still had my opinions about things that in retrospect, looking back on, that I wasn't right about. And I always wanted to make sure I was right. Not my opinion right, but I wanted to make sure whatever it was I was doing was in the right. As long as I know I'm doing right, then I don't feel bad about it. You know, there'd be situations like people be like, well, you should have hit that. Well, you should have hit that woman. She hit you. Or, man, if I would have seen some money fall on the floor, I would have took it. It's mine. I mean, ain't nobody coming to get it. So, you know, I just want to make sure, like, it was like situations like that used to bother me. Like, people would say it's a gray area where you can't really do wrong or right. You're going to do what you would do personally. But I know there's a right and a wrong to everything. And I always wanted to be, it's like when I was younger, I was looking for that drive. When I say young, I'm like 19, 20, 21. I was looking for that drive. Like, I just want to do right. I just want to do right. I just want to, at all times, know that I did the right thing. Not the best thing I can do. Not a good thing. I want to make sure I did the right thing. You know, the right thing don't mean the situation makes everybody happy. The right thing means you did the right thing. If that's crossing somebody else or making somebody else mad because they didn't get their way, or they wanted something to happen in their favor, but it still wouldn't have been the right thing. So that's the conflict. You know, that was a part of conflict that I had inside myself too. I just want to make sure I do the right thing every day in my life, every day I wake up, every day I go outside, every day I step into that world, with everything I do, the way I spend my money, the way I think in my head personally, when nobody else can hear my thoughts but me, the way I conduct myself with other humans and other people, male and female. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing the right thing in that situation. So, it started with like, no matter how a person treats you, I'll be polite. I don't like, for instance, going to a restaurant, the cashier rude. Nowadays, when stuff like that happens to me, I see it's like my mind slows down. Okay, it says, okay, Carl, you can either A, give back attitude and be angry, B, ignore it, C, be polite and carry on, or D, just do something random. And nowadays, the way people emotions are made, male and female, the way people temperaments are made, everybody always pick A. They always pick to get angry, to spaz out. Every time somebody get them something, they give it right back to them. But what did Christ say? Christ said, treat others the way you want to be treated. So I always look at things like that as an opportunity to make a decision. You got 4 paths you can walk down, and I always make sure I choose the right path, which is to control myself, to be the best person I can be in that situation. Somebody be rude, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll take a number 5, and then I pay for my food. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Whoever's at the cash register, get my food. And little do you know, that'll be in my mind. I already made up my heart that that's my last time going to that restaurant. It ain't even. That's just one person. That's just one person in there. Ain't like the whole staff treated me that way, but it's just one person. But I didn't spaz out. I didn't get angry. I didn't do none of this. I didn't do all that. I just said, okay, thank you. Have a nice day. And that's the last time they're gonna ever see me. So, but that's just an example. I really haven't had no problems in restaurants and waiting and staff like that, because I find out that in those certain situations, I always be the customer that takes it to the next level. Because like I said, you always have a option. I've been in situations where someone starts angry, and then you turn around and give them respect, or you turn around and speak calmly, and that calms the person down. And I haven't been in situations, but I've seen plenty of situations. They all over social media, where someone comes at you angry and the person retaliates with anger, and then it blows up into an entirely different situation. And then the next thing you know, wow, all this happened over a box of cereal. Stuff will happen, and you'll see stuff on social media and stuff happening every day over the smallest things. People are losing their livelihoods. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their lives over some of the smallest things. Like, I know, see, it's things like this. This will be a area where people will say, nah, I can't take that. I can't take that. This perfect example. Somebody side swipe your car in traffic. I'm not talking about totally. I'm talking about y'all driving, you turn, the other person turn, and they rub against the back of your bumper, and it makes a little deep scratch. I mean, the car's still intact. The car's still intact and everything. It's just the paint done got scratched up on the back of the bumper. Now most people gonna get out their car and gonna be so angry that this person hit their car. The car ain't finna stop running. They ain't hit the alternator. They ain't killed the battery. They ain't bust a window. The engine ain't stopped. The engine check light ain't came on. The tires ain't flat. Ain't nothing wrong with that car except the paint been chipped. That person is gonna get out their car. Man, you done fucked up. Blah blah blah. Hell no. And then it becomes something bigger than it was. Some people, in my mind, I got an old truck, and that thing still gets me from point A to point B, and it'll take me I'm in Texas. I'm in Houston now. It'll take, if I get in that truck right now, I can drive all the way to New York and it's gonna drive me to New York. But I've learned to appreciate things and that, these things come and go. So if that was to happen to me, I'm just like, oh, well, it's just a pain. I'm just glad to be having a vehicle, a working vehicle. It's paint. It's, okay, cause it's the principle of it all. Like, I don't know whether these people be mad because somebody else did it or what, because you could have made that same scratch bagging up into your driveway at your house and it would have been all your fault. Who you would have been mad at then? Who you would have got out the car and yelled at and threw stuff at? And like, who you would have threatened then if you would have did that same scratch by yourself, if you would have rubbed against the fence of your house? So if it's not worth it and then you still gonna be able to crank it up, drive it, and go down the street, it's just a scratch. But I'm saying it like that, and I'm saying it like it's a small thing because it is a small thing, and I gotta say things like that because I've seen it happen. I've literally seen the smallest things blow up to big things. I mean, like I said, that's just going down your social media feed nowadays. Just small things, small, tiny things, becoming viral moments, sensational moments every day. But motivation, going back to my main point, is that my motivation was to be the best, to make sure I always, not to be the best nothing, but to make sure I'm always doing the right thing at all times. And the first thing to do to be motivated is to always have a source of power. What do I mean by a source of power? A source of power is where you get your energy to stay motivated from. Me personally, I get mine from the scriptures, from God, from the Bible. Think of yourself like a light, like a lamp. You can't get no power to the lamp until you plug into the socket. That's where you're getting your source of power from the socket. So that's where that Bible, that's my socket. That's where I get my power from. That's where I get my strength and my energy and my will to persevere, basically, and to keep moving and to stay motivated, because some days you do want to give into your urges of being lazy, giving up, just taking the easy way, or just being like everybody else and doing what everybody else do. Or just, even it'll be sometimes where whatever you're striving to be or whatever you're trying to be motivated in, you don't see it working out, or you don't see it going as fast as other people's, and you want to just give up, like, I'm just finna stop doing this. I've been doing this 5 months and none ain't showed up yet. It'd be times like that. And those be the times where you need that source of power. Like, some days you can wake up, I'm on it. I'm on top of it. Ain't nothing stopping me now. Ain't nothing stopping me today. And you just doing it. And then other days you'll wake up, man, I've been doing this so long and nobody ain't congratulated me. I ain't getting no recognition. Ain't nothing happening for me. And you just want to just drop it out. Like, all that work, all the months of work, you just want to give it up. And it's so fascinating to me that, because I suffer from that too. I suffer from that. And it's so fascinating to me how we can build, for us as people, us as humans, mankind, how we can build something for a long period of time, and then at any given time, one day, we can just, depending on how we feel emotionally, we can just want to throw it away and give it all up and just stop altogether. It fascinates me. It's like seeing a house. You see yourself building a house. You got the blocks, you got the wood all laid down, you got the foundation laid down. Now you laying the bricks, and you get halfway through it, and then you just got to finish the rest of the house and the roof, and you just like, you know what? I've been building this house for 2 years. And I can't do it no more. I'm tired. But you can see it halfway done. You can see it. It's almost done if you just keep going. But you just want to give up and stop doing it. And that's fascinating to me, because I've given up on things before, and now I look back. Like I said, I look back in retrospect. I look back and say, if I would have kept doing it today, this very day, what this is, January, February, March, April, May. This is May the 22nd. Today, I would be so good at certain things, or certain things would be further along the line of progress if I would have kept doing it. If I would have stayed motivated, if I would have kept my attention focused and everything. Today, I would be way better than I am now at it. So that's one of the main things, is to find a source of power in your motivation. If it's working out, I'm just gonna say a few random things. If it's working out, then find somebody. I would say find an influencer that do it, but they kind of lie. I would say like find a physique or a person that talks and lift you up, and puts a fire in your stomach, put a fire in your heart to get up and move. Like I know a woman that she was to work out. It's just a friend of mine. She was to work out, and she had a picture of Chadwick Boseman in her house, a poster. It was one of the posters from when he was in the Black Panther movie. I said, when I seen it in her gym room, she had a gym room. She had a nice house too. She had a gym room. I helped her move some furniture from her attic back downstairs, and then I put something in her gym room. I said, "Why you got that picture of that guy in there?" Because I thought she just know how women are. They have pictures of people they idolize and stuff. I said, "Why you got that poster of that Chadwick in there?" She said, "Oh, I look at that when I see him. I look at that, and that helps me work out because he used to be little, and he got in shape to be like this." And I looked at it, I was like, huh. And this was a long time. This was like when I was 23, 24. So I was still looking for that to do right, but I didn't had no source of power. I just was going off my own feelings. Whatever I thought, whatever I felt was right, that was right to me. And that's what was wrong with me at that time. And when I seen it, I thought about like, that's good. I said, so that must be what people say what Rocky was to them. What what all these, when you listen to a director talk about his movie, let's say a director made a horror movie, he say, when I first seen Nightmare on Elm Street, that changed my mind of what horror can be. That made me understand what a villain was. That made me that brought fear into me. That's what gave him motivation to be what he wanted to be, to make the movies he wanted to make and stuff like that. Some people it's Chucky, and some people it's Jason Voorhees. It's just, and for her to work out, it was Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther. And I was like, wow. He didn't even, and to me, well, he does have a nice physique, but he wasn't the buffest dude ever in the world. So some of these people have over exaggerated idols, but she just had a normal, regular, worked out body guy as her motivation. I was like, that's kind of amazing to me. If it's your business, when it comes to starting a business, you got to have a source of power to motivate you to continue with your business, because starting your own business, and not only starting it, but to maintain it and to keep going and to stay focused and to stay encouraged and not lose your will. You got to be strong-minded, and you got to be very determined, because when it comes to businesses, people don't never look at you. This is just normal people. I don't know why people do it. It's just what people do. But people don't never look at you as if you could be anything big. They don't never look at you like you can be Steve Jobs. They don't look at you like you can be Mark Zuckerberg. They don't look at you like you can be the guy from Amazon. I forget his name, escaped me at the moment. Jeff Bezos. They don't look at you like that. And they don't even fathom in their head you can even do that. They don't even think you can achieve that. So when I say, when you start a business, you got to be your own everything. You got to be your own cheerleader. You got to be your own manager. You got to be your own promoter. You got to talk about your business the same way people talk about iPhone. The same way people get iPhone free publicity. Man, I got this iPhone 12 and this junk do everything. This junk take all the pictures. Well, you gotta be that for your own business. You gotta be just like people with Nike, man. These junks so hard, bro. These other shoes out here ugly. These hard here. Look at these junk coming out the mall. You gotta be that for yourself. And with anybody going into business, just let me get some side advice. Always go into business for yourself, because don't I know y'all love y'all cousins and y'all brothers and y'all uncles and y'all family members, and and it's always a good talk, but when it all said and done, you never know what's in somebody's heart, and you never know if they gonna stay. You never know if they got the same will, they got the same thoughts you got, because you can be motivated 100% for this thing. Y'all can talk one day, y'all can be boosting each other head up. All right, we're gonna wake up at 6 o'clock every day and do this and do 2 hours brainstorm for this business and all this stuff. And your cousin, your brother, your uncle, he be right there beside. Yeah, we're gonna do this, yeah, we on this. You the only one, next thing you know, you the only one doing it. You the only one that's trying to wake up. Now all of a sudden they got excuses, man. What you text them at 5:30. You ready to get up? You ready to get up, man? You know, I just did two doubles last night. I can't. Yeah. And you're gonna keep doing doubles if you don't try to build nothing for yourself. But that's why I say always go into business for yourself, because don't take nobody with you, because they don't believe into the same dream. They don't see the vision. Basically, they don't see the vision that you see. You see yourself on the top floor with a business with a long table, glass table, and you overlooking the city of New York. They can't see that. People, what they say, what's that famous line black people say? I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. You got to get there. And that's when all the people want to come and hang around you, want to come and gather around you. Once you done made something for yourself, and they watch you make it for yourself, and they didn't help you not a lick, that's when you everything. That's when, man, I can't believe, man, I knew you were going to do it. Oh, yeah, of course you did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that business, going into business is not for the weak, because, like I said, it takes a strong-minded person. It takes a visionary. It takes an evolutionary. You got to be everything. In the process of owning a business, you become HR, you become the CEO, you become a manager, you become a data analysis, you become an inventory specialist, you become a social media promoter. You become everything in that process. You learn from trying to start a business and owning a business and maintaining the business. You gather multiple skills all in one. And never forget, this is a skill that's not even used anymore as much, but you learn how to speak. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how to conduct upright and just business with people. You learn how to maneuver savvy. Well, my company, I know my company's not as big as your company, but I don't think that fits my company right now. Or maybe we can split the dividends 50-30, and then I'll think about it. But until then, I don't want to put myself out there like that, because that'll be a risk for me and my company at this very moment. Thank you, sir. Stuff like that, like, it gets you like that. It makes you become a savvy person that's not foolhardy. And then you also see yourself alone. As time goes on, you also see yourself becoming less of a consumer and more of a supplier. You now that you know how business works behind the scenes, you're not too easily caught up in being sold things. Like back then, when you see a poster for something, you'd be like, oh, well, let me go get me 2 of them, pair of them. Nowadays you see they be like, I should probably do that for my business. 2 for 1. And then I can add a little buy one. I might add a little buy one get one free, and come back later, bring this coupon back, get another, get half off next time, and it'll increase my profits. And then you can add a referral. Yeah, and then whoever you refer to get a half off, and then it goes on like that, and they get a discount. Yeah, see, that's what you're doing now. You're doing business. Now you're spreading your word. You just did like you spread the word. You spread the word of your business. You promoted yourself. You made sales. You network with other people, and you provided yourself a word of mouth through customer service to different people speaking about you. You did a lot of things just by thinking like that. But let me get off to the business more. I touched on if you trying to stay motivated, losing weight. If you're trying to stay motivated in business, I'm trying to finish school. Trying to finish school. When it comes to staying motivated to finishing school, what should be your power, your outlet of power, your source of power? It should be that degree. It should be where you see yourself in. Let's say you got 3 years of school. Where you see yourself in 4 years. You know, just like those guys that be rapping, they be in them little bitty studios in the hood. They see themselves. They already see themselves with a big old mansion, with all the women, with all the cars. They see themselves on stage and performing in front of people. You got to see yourself the day you enter college. You got to see yourself the day you graduating with that degree in your hand. I already got a job in place. I already got your ideas in place. But see, this the thing. Everyone goes into college with that mindset. But through the process of time and being at college, people lose they self and their ambition in living the college life. So it's a double-edged sword. Some people go there and mean straight business. 3 years, straight business. Whatever degree it is. Sometimes it's 3 years, sometimes it's 5 years. Some people go in there, hey, I'm straight business. I'm completely focused. And if you ever noticed, if you ever watched documentaries, because I was big on watching documentaries on people who built empires and companies, whoever did things for themselves. And every time I watched those documentaries, it was always the same people that made it. People who was completely and utterly focused on their goal. Those be the only people that made it. They had a 100, they had a 99 or 98% success rate in starting a business and getting big. They was completely fixated and focused on this goal. And I can tell you now that it really does. That's how it actually is. Because let me give a smaller example. When I used to play, there was this game called Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I never thought I could move the way that game is actually played. That game, the way you can play that game a normal way, and then you can play that game the way it was meant to be played. I never thought that I was capable of playing that game the way it was meant to be played. But I became fixated on that game. That was the only game I played for, I believe, that whole year, that whole time period. And by the end of that time, I was so good at that game. I could do all that stuff but how did I get like that? I got like that because I was focused. I was fixated. I was completely and utterly dedicated to that game and to learning the ins and outs of that game. And that goes with a lot of different things. I want to learn anything I wanted to learn about, anything I got obsessed with. I learned all about it. Anything. But here's the thing. It was always something I wanted to learn. Just like I gotta use another woman just because a woman showed me something on her phone, on her iPhone. And I didn't know an iPhone could do half the stuff that it can do until you've been around a woman that mess with her phone. They can change the settings, they can change the time, they can change it's I don't even know how to explain it. A woman knows how to do so much things on her iPhone. That's because they are always in their phone. They know how to make it look like this. They know how to make it seem like that. The message got sent like this. You can't see the screen on a certain time. You can use her left eye, not her right eye. Her Facebook icon look like a Twitter icon. or it looks like an email icon, and her text message go to email, this go to that. I be like, and this wasn't nobody I'm with, but I was like, so you know how to do all that just to do what you need to do, or live how you want to live? She was like, yeah. And I see, it wasn't about the stuff she was doing. It was more about and you took time to learn it. See, stuff be blowing my mind where it be like, and you took time to learn all that just to do that. And it be amazing to me because I see how good people get at things. Just like, have you ever seen like, go watch a guy pick locks. Just something random. Just pick locks, padlocks, door locks, any type of lock, car locks. You see, they done did it so much that he's so good at he just pick a lock in like 3 seconds. Just give him a hairpin, and he'll pick a lock. And it'd be amazing to me because that I'm seeing him do something in front of my face in 3 seconds. But what I'm thinking about in my head is that how much time, dedication, how much focus that he put into that to get to the point where he can do that in 3 seconds. I don't think I can never put that much dedication into learning to pick different type of locks where I can just go to a lock and just pop, and just end like that, pop. But that's the thing about us as humans. It's so many different people, and there's so many different skills, and so many different people have dedicated their lives to different things. Just like with cooking, like if you ever go to a hibachi place, you watch a person chop that food up and do all this stuff. Like, that's an amazing person. Like, you just did all that. You know how to do all that with that food. When I can barely put the rice on, I can barely keep the rice from turning black when I cook. So this man or this woman, they done chopped it up. They slid the food over there to this side. They got the food hanging on the shelf on the cleaver, and then they gonna slide it off, and it's all gonna catch on fire. Then it's gonna all be on your plate. More things about staying motivated. It's to prioritize yourself. You got to be focused on yourself, not to the point where you selfish or you idolize yourself. I'm talking about focus on what's best for you and where you see yourself and where you want to be at. Because this is the thing about motivation. When you're motivated to do something, it changes it changes everything around you. That's another thing people don't tell you, that it changes you. When you're let's say you're motivated to exercise. Let's just use that because that's one of the biggest things going on in this world. Or let me change it up. Let's say you motivated to be abstinence, abstain from sex. Let me show you how that changes you. It makes you stop looking at porn. It makes you when you're around your friends, you don't talk about stuff like that. They don't even cross your mind no more. Some people are so caught up in sex and things like that that's all they think about all day. That they can't think about nothing else. When you take that out, if you're a person that's trying to practice abstinence and stuff, when you don't even think about sex as much no more. And when you take that out, you'll find yourself thinking about other things that you never thought about before, because your time was always taken up thinking about sex or whatnot. It makes you stop. What's that saying? It makes you stop and smell the roses. It makes you, outside is actually beautiful today. It makes you smell fresh air. It makes you just feel better. It makes you stop, like I said, stop watching porn. You stop watching certain movies and stuff. You won't even notice it. You won't even see yourself. You won't even not see yourself. You won't even feel yourself doing it. It's just something that's gonna happen naturally. You stop listening to certain songs. You'll see somebody, one of your favorite artists on stage doing a dance, so you be like, it's not the same. I don't know what's different. It's not the same. it changes you. It even changes the stuff, the food you eat. It just changes you. Usually you'll go to the store. Usually on a Friday night, you'll go to the store, get you some liquor. Y'all finna turn up. Y'all finna go to the club. Now that you're not always thinking about sex or something like that, now you don't even want to go to the club and drink liquor and twerk with your girlfriends and stuff. That just ain't you no more. That's you changing, and you don't even know it. And I promise, it happens just like that. It happens just like that. On a man case, it's different, but it's usually be the same things. You don't want to hear your homeboys talk about being with all these different females, treating these different females a certain type of way. You don't even want to hear about stuff like that. It doesn't do nothing for you. It you be trying to tell them, man, what about working out and stuff like that? They don't want to hear that. But you don't want to hear what they talking about. So it changes you. So it makes you start thinking in your head, are these even my type of people I need to be around anymore? I'm going to tell you a story. Recently, one of my friends from Memphis came down here. He was like, hey, Carl, I'm finna be in Houston. I'm finna turn up. He was like, I want you to show me around the city and stuff. I was like, all right. I said, I'm going to show you how Houston actually is. I'm not going to show you what people see on what you see on social media, because I'm going to tell you something about Houston. Houston is just a normal city. The only time you see all that dancing and them parties and stuff, those are people that come from out of town. Those are out-of-towner and out-of-town people videos. I'm finna show you what this city is really like. He was like, all right, cool. That's what I want to see. So he came down here. So I was like, he told me he'd been working out in Memphis. He said he's trying to get back in shape because he out of shape. He younger than me. He 26. I'm 31. No, I'm 32. Man, I'm so old. I don't be knowing. But yeah, I'm 32. I've been out here, like I said, I've been motivated by the God and the Word. So I just been changed. My life has been changed for a long time. Recently I've been working out. I've been riding my bike and other type of thing. I done changed my life and my outlook on life altogether. So he was like, man, I'm gonna come out there and work out with you. I'm gonna do all this stuff you do. I was like, all right. Cause I was looking at him while he was in Memphis. I was like, hey man, I don't think you're gonna be able to do the stuff I do. You 26, but you got a 45-year-old body. You got a body with 40. Cause he go out on Beale Street every weekend and he drink, and then he want to go to the gym during the week and work out. But I told him that you can't want to get in shape and then you drinking and smoking and eating what you want to eat. Like it takes hard work and dedication to get in shape. But he said, no, I'm just gonna work out. I'm just gonna work out. I'm just gonna build muscle like that. I'm like, that's not how you build muscle. But anyway, he came down. I said to my heart, I said, when he come down here, I'm gonna let him work out with me, and I'm gonna see if he can keep up with me. I'm 30. I'm 32 now. He 26. So he came down here. I was like, hey, you finna work out? He was like, yeah, let's work out. He said, what we finna do first? I said, I'm gonna do something easy because I ain't wanna overload him. I said, let's go rock climbing. So we went to the indoor rock climbing, and he couldn't. This how I tricked him. The first one we did some practice ones, and I made him think like it was like they was hard and difficult. Even when I climbed up the practice one, I was kind of going slow, to motivate him. Like it was hard on both of us, but really it was just easy to me. So when we got up there, when I was like, all right, so you know something about some rock climbing? He was like, man, this stuff easy. This ain't shit to me. I was like, okay. I said, let's pick it up a notch. So we went to the little harder ones. I went first. I act like I struggled again to get up there, and then I came down. I said, try that one. He did that. He tried that one, and he fell down about twice. But then I started, you know how men, we yell at each other like, come on, man, you got this. He got up it. See, I got up there. I got up the same one he got up, but I was faking like I was struggling. So I said, all right, now we're finna get for real. So we went to a real boulder. I gave it my all. I got up there with no problem at all, still. But I was for real this time about trying to climb it. So now it was his turn. When I say he couldn't climb none of that, and that's when I started to notice, like, we been in there about 30 minutes at this point. That's when I started to notice that, yeah, he out of shape. He badly out of shape. Cause see, he was already tired, and I had to get to that real boulder to start to work up a sweat. Cause them other ones we was on wasn't doing nothing to me. I wasn't even getting a workout from that. I was making it look like it because I was being kind of nice or whatnot. And that's when I see him try to get up that new one, the last one we was up, I was like, well, yeah, he out of shape. He out of shape real bad. And I think that's when we both tried to get up it that same one a few more times before we left. I was like, you know what, let's cut it off at that. I said the next day we're gonna go biking. Now me, I usually go 11 to 20 miles when I ride the bike. And I was telling him, I'm like, hey, look, riding bikes is not easy. No, that stuff hurt. He was like, man, that ain't nothing. I just gotta ride a bike, right? I'm like, yeah. So we riding a bike. The whole time when we first left the house, he was right there beside me. But about 3 minutes later, and it's crazy, it was only 3 minutes, just 3 simple minutes. 3 minutes later, he all the way down the street behind me. I had to slow down to the point where I was basically walking my bike. I was walking. And we didn't even leave. We was just 3 minutes down the road from the house. And that's when I really knew. I was like, yeah, he ain't. I don't know. I know he going to the gym. I see his gym pictures on social media, but I know he not making the most out of it. And I know it don't matter how hard he tried in the gym, if he don't change his ways, he ain't gonna see no progress. So I kept asking him while we were riding about, like, hey, do you want to turn around? You want to turn around? He was like, no, I got this. So I started riding, like, all right, just follow me. Every time I ride, I see myself going too fast. I had to slow down. But see, in the process of me slowing down for him to keep up, I wasn't getting a workout no more. And he was sweating buckets, but I wasn't even sweating yet because I wasn't riding how I usually ride. So we got 2 miles. We were supposed to go. I was gonna go with him 11 miles. I usually go 22 by myself, but I was gonna take him 11 miles and show him around the city. But we got 2 miles from the house, and I was looking at how he was sweating and stuff. I was like, if we get 11 miles from the house, that means, you got to turn around and do 11 miles back to the house. Well, I ain't like I had a car to follow us and then pick us up. When I ride by myself, I ride out and then I got to turn around and go the same way. So if I go 22 miles, I got to turn around and go 22 miles back to the house. That's 42 miles, 44 miles. So when we got 2 miles from the house, I saw we sat at a little bench. We took a break. I was like, man, this ain't nothing but 2 miles from the house. And it took us about 40 minutes to get there. When it takes me about that little spot, that 2 miles from the house, it take me about 5 minutes to get there. I was like, yeah, let's go and turn around. I was like, you good, man? Let's turn around. He was like, yeah. And I keep going. He was like, I keep going. But I knew he was saying that out of pride, that he really couldn't keep going because he probably could keep going. But when it's time to turn around and go home, he was going to be mad because we got to do all the miles back home. I was like, no, this is going to turn around. And I knew the whole ride back, I was like, yeah, he ain't he can't keep up with me. He got a U20.
Here's the part where the audio, got cut off when he was recording. And we finna pick up with what he just recorded tonight to finish out this episode.
And another thing, progress, trust. You know how they say trust the process? Also trust the progress, because you wouldn't even believe how far you can come in something as long as you stick with it. I'm gonna give you an example with me. I think I've been riding cycling, like not professional. I'm trying to get professional. I'm an amateur. I've been cycling for, let's say 3 months now. I say 3 months because that's when I bought my first professional bike. It was a almost $2,000. And even though they get up there in the 5,000s and all that stuff, but I had to start somewhere. And the guy at the bike store told me that was a good bike to start it. So when I always rode bikes. No, I always know how to ride bikes, but we ride them bikes with the Walmart bikes with the handles on the side, and to go up the street and go back home. But you can't really go far in those type of bikes because of the wheels and tires and how everything made. But when I got that professional bike, I didn't know how out of shape I was. And see, I'm a small guy, and I was muscular and everything at the time, but I didn't know how truly out of shape I was until I rode a bike, a professional bike. So at first, 3 months ago, when I first started riding, I can only go 2 miles. By the time I get to 2 miles, my legs, my thighs, my upper thighs is burning. My legs heavy. I'm sweating. I'm completely out of breath in 2 miles. 2 miles, almost 3 miles. But I didn't give up though. I used to come home. Sometimes my legs hurt. I get off the bike. I'm trying to walk up the steps in the house. My legs hurt. This stuff just hurt. I lay every time I come home from riding the bike. I just get in the bed and lay down because I couldn't do nothing else. I just couldn't do nothing else. My leg would hurt too bad. So that was 3 months ago. I could only go 2 miles. Now, as of today, well, the last time I rode a bike was 2 days ago before it started raining out here. As of this month, as of Monday, I went 22 miles one way and 22 miles the other way. So I seen myself making progress because at first it was like I was doing 2 miles. Then I got up to like 7. Then it was like 10. Then about 15. Now I'm at 22 miles. I can go 22 miles in one direction before I get tired or exhausted. And see, I just did that 22 miles Monday, like I said. The only reason why I turned around because I was like, well, I'm actually kind of going kind of far from the house. That's actually, who wants to take a 3-hour trip one way and then take that same trip back? So I really wasn't tired. I actually just turned around. But that's why I capped it off at. So I kept my mileage off at 22. And my speed, I'm up in I can reach 20 miles an hour if I got a flat surface and stuff. And I also been playing the guitar, and when I first played back in the day, I was good, but I wasn't ever real. I was still an amateur. Now I can say, as of today, I've been playing again. I'm almost immediate. I can play along with certain songs up to a certain extent, but I'm definitely better than I'm definitely much better than I was before. And I see progress. Even when I also try to do some exercise, build my muscle, and I see my body different from when I first started. I know that takes a long process, but it's all about consistency. But that's with anything you do. I said I want to teach myself how to cook better, not just like, how people classify hood food and stuff like that. I just wanted to learn how to cook actual food, how to make it actually look good. Like, not just good to me, because, I can just, we as people, we can just cook something out the microwave, then pour a whole lot of hot sauce on it or pour a lot of seasoning on it and be like, this good to us. But I want to start like making the food look presentable good and then smelling good, like the aroma and everything. But I know all that stuff is, like I said, that'll be new to me because I never cooked. Like, if it ain't Rotel or just something like that, I never cooked nothing. So all that stuff is gonna be new to me. And recently, since I've been here out in Texas, I started cooking. I started making my own lamb because you can't really go nowhere and find lamb to eat nowhere. You got to make that yourself. So I've been doing it, and I've been making it's just a different level. I just feel different, and I feel better because I'm packing on skills and like different things. I even picked up archery, And that's probably the thing that's at the bottom when it comes to cycling, the guitar, cooking and stuff. That's probably the thing I do the least is archery. Cause it's kind of hot out here in Houston, but I know there ain't no excuse. So I rarely go outside in the front yard and start pulling on the bow. If I did, anytime I do go outside, I'm finna get on the bike. I look at the archery and I look at the target. I'm like, I'll do it later. But I'm gonna get back on all that. I'm gonna get back on all that stuff because I like how I see myself becoming, and I like how, basically I'm saying I like the person and the man I'm becoming. Because another thing, when my friend was down here, cause he saw me doing archery on Facebook. I'll be posting something for my videos on Facebook. He was like, man, when I come down, I'm gonna do that too. I was like, all right. So he came down here, and I was like, bro, just hit the target. I'll give you like 4 shots. This man couldn't even pull the string back, and I was like, damn. And then I always forget that those strings weigh some pounds and stuff. Pulling back on that, that's a whole lot of friction on those strings. So you gotta have some arm strength to pull that string back like that. And I see myself pulling it back like effortlessly, just pulling it back and shoot. And he was like, he had to snatch it back with his whole hand like in a fist and pull it back. I was like, you can't hold a string like that. You're gonna hurt yourself. You gotta grab it with 2 hands. But that's how it be. Like, you can see yourself make progress when you compare yourself to somebody who don't do it or somebody who's just started doing it. Even if you just start doing it a few months before them, you can still see that you can still see yourself making improvements. But like I said, that was just my case specifically for me. But that goes for anything you do. Even my reading level. I used to stutter a lot when I read words. Now, I probably stutter every so often in a paragraph. When the words just get too jumbled up or get too fast, then yeah, I stutter. But it used to be times like, and the dog jumped in the tree. Stuff like when I was younger, but I never stopped reading. But some people stop reading once they get out of school, but I never stopped reading. Now I can just read a sentence like it's nothing. And another thing, with reading comes comprehension. You will know if you can comprehend something when you can read your lease, or you can read I'm pretty sure y'all do it too. Y'all ever get legal documents in mail? People talking about not suing you, but just what's like a legal document? Like a lawyer trying to send you his services. Like, hey, let me be your traffic lawyer. I'm the #1 lawyer in the DC area and stuff like that. They send like them little advertisements, and they be sending like the legal wording and jargon in there. And if you can read that stuff and understand what it's actually saying, and just read traffic laws and laws in general, when you read that type of writing, I ain't talking about like Harry Potter. Just read the book and understand what the book's talking about. I'm talking about comprehension, like when you can read laws and statutes and stuff like that. Like for instance, let me give the best of my example. Like if you're trying to rent something, and it'd be like, the rentee is responsible in case of insufficient funds on the date required of before the buyer required it, then there would be a 2% decrease in property owned. Like stuff like that. Like people wouldn't know what that meant for real. But that all takes time to comprehend and to read and get like that. But that's with anything. Anything takes time. Some things just natural. I got friends that can just do a backflip. Some people got to train to do backflips and cartwheels. Some people can just jump in there and that's it. But yeah, I'm rambling on now. So basically, I'm finna end this here. That was my Let's Talk. That was my first one. This is Carlee. This is the co-host of the T&E podcast, and this should be up whenever Ken gets into it, and hopefully I'll be doing more Let's Talks in the future. But as of right now, like I said, always put your best foot forward and always strive to do better in situations. And if you want to better yourself or you want to change something, it's never too late, no matter your age, no matter who you hang around, no matter what your situation is. You can always, it starts with you. Everything starts with you. Everything. And with that, I bid y'all adieu. Good night.